Hello guys, today we have got more Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, the footage in the background doesn't exactly matter. These are just a series of gladiator fights that I liked playing in. I still like the gladiator arena feature. Even though I haven't played a bit more of it, I just still like the idea of it that you can return to it whenever you like. There's two gladiator arenas, and the bosses, they are not one-time things. So, whereas the story itself, you can only play through once, you can't go back and replay missions. The bosses in arenas, you can play them as many times you want. It doesn't matter if you show mercy to them or kill them each time. You can literally just keep fighting the same guy over and over again and just constantly kill him over and over again. Then just reload, go back in, and be like, oh, I want to fight you again. Aha, you've just magically got your head back. Good to see. Now let me take it off again. Besides on that, that is a vicious nut shot. I mean, get an axe right into the shoulder, then into the nuts. Anyways, that's not the topic of this video. Nor is the gladiator arenas the topic of this video. I'm going to preface this by beginning this with a bit of an anecdote. Now, I played through the campaign in Origins on Nightmare mode. Basically, you unlock Nightmare mode if you complete the story on hard. I decided, you know what, I love the story so much, I want to go back, I just want to replay the game, I want to re-experience questing, leveling up, all in the Assassin's Creed context, because I think this is how, as much as I like the old Assassin's Creed games, I think this is how future Assassin's Creed games should be made, like this. But anyways, gone back, played through the campaign, having a bit of a blast. Well, I should say, having a lot of a blast if I can crack out 7-hour play sessions on it. Just ridiculously long play sessions. Anyways, I went back, I played through the story, and I noticed something. There is quite a lot of plot holes in Origins. That just creates some plot holes to not major parts of the overall Assassin's Creed lore and story. It still just creates some, you know, bit issues if you have a bit of a keen eye. Now, there are many, I mean many YouTubers in the Assassin's Creed world who have better editing quality, who have more subscribers than me, who fucking hell, they have more money than me, all that good jazz, who actually make money off of YouTube instead of doing it as merely a form of entertainment outlet and hoping that less than 100 people actually like them, kind of thing. And they've done subjects on what's gonna happen to the modern day character, you know, why, if Bayek is the founder of the Assassin Order, why isn't he mentioned in any of the other games? Like, why isn't there any kind of reference to an Egyptian assassin outside of Amunet? And this video is going to kind of focus on that topic, but there's one minor plot hole, and then one kind of sort of major plot hole, but don't worry, it doesn't affect the story too much. So, the first plot hole, and be warned, I'm just going to say it, before we get into this, be warned that this is going to be these are going to be spoilers for the end of the game. Like, you are going to have to just, if you don't want this story spoiled, stop watching, go away now, exit the video, exit the fucking internet, close your computer, turn off your laptop, do whatever. If it's your mobile phone, just go to the nearest river and lob it into the river, go and finish the story, then come back, fish your phone out of the river, return on, I can't even speak this morning, turn back on your laptop and fucking watch this video. Okay? The spoiler warning has been put into effect. So, after you kill the leader of the Order of Ancients, or at least the final target on your list, Fabius, you return to Aya in Alexandria, where you learn that she's traveling to Rome to assassinate Caesar. And one cool feature is that they actually get Brutus into the order of, well, we'll call it assassins just to be simple, but on the technicality it is the hidden ones. And, like, so if you know basic Roman history, you know that Brutus was one of the co-conspirators that played a role in Caesar's death, and thankfully the game does the same thing here. Like, he plunges the dagger, spectacularly, might I add you, right into Caesar's genitalia. I mean, he could have just gone for the stomach, he could have just gone for the heart, he could have just planted it anywhere in his chest and it would have finished Caesar off. But Brutus in that cutscene was just like, no, you grabbed me by the shoulder, you said, you too, my child, so for that, I'm just gonna make sure you're not gonna have any children in the afterlife. Stab in the dick! And as epic as that scene is, I noticed one or two oddities about it. And this is the oddity. If you've played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and gone through all the Romulus tombs, you would have unlocked the armor of Brutus. Now, upon acquiring the armor, you also get the dagger of Brutus, and the description for the dagger reads, this dagger was said to be used by Brutus when he assassinated Caesar with it. Okay. Now, if you watch the final cutscene from Origins, where Brutus is stabbing Caesar, again, in the dick, I'm not a mature person if I could just laugh at that. Stab a person in the dick! Anyways, if you actually look at that cutscene, Brutus is using just a fairly thin dagger. What the hell? And Brutus isn't even wearing his red Roman armor, he's wearing a toga. I mean, yes, the toga is more symbolic of Rome and it's less fucking conspicuous than a big hulky piece of metal armor with a wolf on the shoulder. Something like what Septimius is wearing, but just with a hood, and it's red. Yes, the toga is less conspicuous than the armor of Brutus, but still, it's like, why not include this part? Why not include this part? I mean, it would be less believable, but at the same time, it's like, you can't just have the armor of Brutus in Brotherhood and say, oh, this is the armor Brutus wore, and this is the dagger Brutus used to assassinate Caesar, and then not have it in Origins, where you literally show Brutus assassinating Caesar. Now, yes, you can explain this away by saying, okay, Brutus later acquired the armor after the assassination of Caesar, you know, he created this armor, and then he got this dagger, which he then used for his assassination missions, and then it was just, you know, written in that he used the dagger to assassinate Caesar. But still, it's just like, didn't the developers just like, in their spare time, in their off time, just like, play the previous games just to be like, okay, we want to make sure we get the lore all in line here. That was the first piece of basically trivial, absolutely trivial plot holes that I could think that got me thinking last night. But then there's the second, which is a bit less trivial. It actually gets you to think a bit more if you really think about it. So I need to take you back first to the final cutscene to Aya's speech at the end of Origins. You know, she's going saying how she's founded a what's it, bureau in Rome, how she's cut off all ties to Aya, she's a new person, she declares that she is Amunet, the Hidden One, which is a very cool thing when you realise what that means in Assassin's Creed lore. But then a plot hole just arises, and you have to be very keen-eyed, or a lonely geek, which I am the second of, to notice this. But basically, in Origins, Layla discovers that Aya's mummy is buried in the same cave as Bayek's. That's how she's able to extract some of her DNA, put it into her animus, and then access her memories. But then, let's go back to Assassin's Creed 2. One of the assassin tombs Ezio has to go through in order to get Altair's armor is the tomb of Amunet, the same assassin who is said to kill Cleopatra with a snake. That tomb, that body, has somehow made its way from the outskirts of Siwa in Egypt all the way to, I believe it is Tuscany in Italy, then somehow made its way back, and yet the mummy is still preserved enough for Layla to extract the DNA from it. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like, how? Didn't somebody play the previous Assassin's Creed games on the development team and just think, wait, we want everything to be in order, so how are we going to explain Amunet's body going from Egypt, dying in like, I don't know, 30 BCE, 49 BCE, I don't know, 20 BCE, and somehow appearing in Tuscany in 1482 for Ezio to enter her tomb to grab a key or a seal to use to unlock a door for an armor, and then only to be transported back to Egypt just to be placed in that same tomb. Like, how? That is a plot hole! That is the very definition of a plot hole! Why? Why? It's one of the stupidest plot holes, but it kept me up last night. I was seriously sitting there trying to wrap it around my head like, so wait, her body's gone from Egypt to Italy back to Egypt somehow. Who did this? Oh my god. I don't know, that plot hole just made me laugh. Like, if someone has an explanation for it, please tell me. Please just tell me. Because it would drive me fucking insane if I do not hear the answer to this. Apart from that, I don't really have another plot hole. I mean, I suppose one plot hole you could maybe raise up or suggest is again like a theory that again bigger YouTubers have done, like, why isn't Bayek ever mentioned? Like, why is he the one that's forgotten by history? I mean, sure, Amunet helped kill Caesar, helped kill Cleopatra, but Bayek was the one in Origins who gave the speech in Alexandria with him and his allies, saying that a new creed should arise that should work in the shadows, is to help the people. But yet he's the one that's forgotten by history. And I suppose one other plot hole I can quickly think of that's just come onto my mind the final one I'll just quickly raise up. If anyone has an answer for it, just let me know. Is how comes, you know that if you've ever played the story, if you go to that cutscene where Bayek actually learns about the Order of Ancients, how it's not just like one or two people, it's actually an expansive network of individuals that go across Egypt that hold powerful positions in society. When it shows that weird scene where they, for some reason, put their sticks into that weird table and they're worshipping that skull, is that an Itsu skull? Is that a skull of one of the first civilization? Because if you go into Assassin's Creed 3, you hear that the first civilization is like 76,000 years old or something like that, like as old as time kind of thing. So if that skull that they're worshipping in that cutscene, which is a very trippy cutscene, almost like eyes wide shut kind of trippy, if that's an Itsu skull that somehow survived 75 ish thousand years and is available to be somehow worshipped by the Order of Ancients, just how? And which Itsu is that, or which First Civilization member is that? And if it's not a First Civilization member's skull that they're worshipping, what the fuck was the point of that cutscene? What the fuck was the point of that cutscene? I don't know, just one or two plot holes really that just seem to, I can't get out of my mind. I thought I'd just share them with you, because if I didn't share them with anyone, I'd be cooped up in the corner of my room, rocking back and forth, just constantly wondering, how did Arya's body go from Egypt to Italy, back to Egypt? How? Anyways, I'm gonna leave my commentary and my rambling off here, but before I go, hopefully 2018 is going to be a good year, and I am planning to do an entire review of Assassin's Creed Origins, given that I've played through the game 3 times now on increasing difficulty, so I feel this gives me a better perspective as to the game, and like I've had more time to just sit down with the game. I've played the game with updates and patches, so that's why I want to do a review of it. And this fight, by the way, this is a fairly interesting gladiator fight. If you come up against this opponent, I'd recommend you play him. In fact, I might try and work my way to this gladiator fight on nightmare difficulty and see what it's like, and just rage at it, because bosses on nightmare difficulty are a real rage. And lastly, before I leave you off, just to enjoy the rest of the fight, I have got a bit of a bonus clip at the end, just like a strange glitch I encountered on my hard profile when I was near the end of that playthrough, so you may like it. It's just weird and strange. But anyways, apart from that, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, for those few people that have. If you're still entertained by this, then you truly are amazing people, and I can't thank you enough. I shall see you later, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Spy, Hatti, at the East Roman fort. I should rescue him.
Non muovere! Ego, stand up!